Welcome to another episode of The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media by highlighting what makes this country so great city by city. Today, you're going to see something really cool. We're going to be focusing on the living history of our country. We have compiled some segments throughout the week that show what makes history in all of our cities incredible when it comes to real estate, lifestyle, and culture. You're going to love today's episode. Let's start The American Dream right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
All right, today's show is about living history, but never forget The American Dream is a national show that still integrates what's happening in your local marketplace. So let's bring you your first local market update right now.
I'm Amy Summers, co-owner of JL & Realty in downtown Auburn. Auburn is a great mix of city and country. It's a place where you have all the amenities that you need without all the hustle and bustle of the big city, and especially not the traffic. It's also a place full of talented people, many artists, musicians, as evidenced by the many galleries, open mic nights, free concerts in the summertime. Really a fun place to live. It's also a place rich in gold rush history. Gold was discovered not far from here in Coloma in 1848. I'm standing here today in the historic district of Old Town. As you can see, it still probably looks a little bit like it did in the gold rush days. It definitely has a bit of an urban vibe now. It's a place with lots of great restaurants, quirky shops, and one of my favorite places, the Poor Choice. We're gonna run in there now and say hi to the owner, Jordan, and see what he's got to say. What do you got going here, Jordan?
Yeah, so my wife and I opened the Poor Choice about a year and a half ago, maybe a little more now. And the whole goal of our business is really to be kind of a communal hub, a place that people can come and spend time and hang out. And if you give, I think, products that create the opportunity for that cover a wide variety of ages and even people types, I think it's an effective backdrop for it. And so what we do is what's called third wave coffee, which is a very craft movement of coffee, direct purchase, single origin coffees that we roast lighter, beer, wine, and then really nice food, kombuchas, teas. There's something really for everyone is the idea. So no matter what you're wanting to eat or drink, we should have something for you. And we think that if you create those products, that it gives opportunity for a lot of different people to come and hang out and spend time.
If you're planning to come to Auburn for a visit, a great place to stay is the Park Victorian. It sits right up on the hill overlooking Old Town, where you can walk down and have dinner or visit the shops. Let's go up and visit them. So I'm here with Lori. She's the manager of this beautiful Park Victorian bed and breakfast. Thanks for being with us today, Lori.
Well, thank you for having me.
So when the Park Victorian was started, what was the original vision?
Well, I think that the original vision was to restore this beautiful home back to its original grandeur. It's a 19th century home, but now it's been brought into the 21st century with all the amenities, and for people to be able to come and enjoy this wonderful place and see what it was like maybe back in the day.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yes, there's hotels in the area that will give you great accommodations, but there's something really special about what we offer here. I've always wanted to give people the VIP experience. Ever since my daughter was a little girl and wanted to be a VIP, I always thought everybody deserves to be a VIP.
Well, that wraps up our tour of Auburn for today. If you have any needs in Auburn or the surrounding areas, my name's Amy Summers of JL & Realty, and you can connect with me on Facebook. See you next month on The American Dream.
All right, little history quiz for you. Do you know who Mr. Showmanship is? Came out of Vegas, Liberace, musician, actor, pianist. We went out to his home in Vegas to check out this cool story with the Bachelor and Hannah team. Let's go check it out.
So today we're at the Liberace Mansion, which is a true piece of Las Vegas history. We get to see this property in an exclusive look. We're going to meet with the owner who has completely restored the property.
Destiny. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It needed it screaming, please help me, you know. And I was fascinated by Liberace as a child, and that's the reason I play the piano today. I've been not only to bring it back to life, but I've actually been able to bring music back to the mansion as well.
That's amazing.
Which it really needed.
And actually, Las Vegas is very lucky to have you, because when we see properties like this that are really an iconic piece of history, and I see that they've been restored, and being someone who's lived in Las Vegas the majority of my whole life, I almost get a little bit emotional about it, because we don't have a lot of history that has been done in Las Vegas. Kind of, we do everything new and better, and
we tear everything down and
tear
make
it down
new.
and start over. And so to see this piece and actually have this tour today, and to see the beauty that you've restored in this property, I'm very excited for. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Now, you see these two marble columns here, and the two marble columns just a little ahead. This is the end of one of the houses.
Okay.
And then
the beginning of the next.
there was the gap, and then there's the beginning of that one. But it was merged, and then another floor was put up as well. This became, once again, a very, very famous piece. He paid $350,000 for this in 1974, and it was in Variety.
$350,000 in 1974.
It was in
So what's that, about $1 million today?
Something like that, yeah.
Now, when you took it over, how much of this was here, and how much of it wasn't here?
The ceiling was hanging down. There were two sinkholes, and I had to have the floors and the drill, because we're under the sand underneath it. So I had to make it to concrete, hundreds of tons of concrete, and there were pylons, steel pylons with propeller-style blades on them to lift and support everything.
Wow.
They said at the time, the engineers, they said, had I not done what I did, the house would have collapsed in 18 months.
Wow.
So it would already be gone by now.
Phenomenal.
Oh, well, this was a direct blood descendant of Michelangelo, and his name was Stefano Angelo Thorpe. This is the closest thing you're going to come to the Vatican this summer.
Yeah, and every night when you go to bed, this is what you see.
It really is. And this was his bedroom.
Wow.
This was once his pool, where he played on the piano key Paul. And however, when this went up for sale after he died in 1988 in the famous auction in 1988, the Liberace auction, they filled in the pool and got permission to have an event centre. This is a piece of history in itself. Liberace bought this staircase from a can-can bar in Paris.
Wow.
Now, the reason it hit the newspapers is because of the cost of the transportation. To get it across the ocean and the continent cost $75,000, because it had to be in dollars. It had to be transported in one piece. Now, this is his favorite room, the Moroccan room.
The Moroccan room. Bill's
you.
already up here doing it.
Bill's up here.
Soaking up the Liberace history.
There's a very positive energy in this room.
There is. And just the natural light, and just being, I feel like you can almost feel the spirits of everyone who has been here. You are truly just a man after my heart, because I love that you've restored this history here. I know Daryl's really enjoyed it, and just everything down to just the furniture pieces. You've done an amazing job, and we thank you today for your time.
Thank you, good self.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now we're going to finish up by showing another little piece of iconic history, Michael's Restaurant here at the South Point.
And Michael's has been in business for almost 40 years. They've hosted many celebrities, many Las Vegas mobsters.
And we're going to interview the guy here, Jose, who knows where all the bones are buried, pretty much.
He does. He is the key to the castle. He has the keys. He's going to have an interview with us and tell us what Las Vegas holds behind these doors. Come on,
check it out.
So, Jose, we're so excited today to be with you and be at beautiful Michael's Restaurant. where we know you have seen countless celebrities, you've seen countless very famous, iconic people. And we want to talk a little bit about that Las Vegas history.
Yes.
So what can you tell us?
We moved out here to the South Point in 2007. And the only original two pieces is the dome and the front door.
Wow.
And everything else is the same colors, same
Exact replicas, right?
This is how it was before. Yeah.
carpet.
What other celebrities have you hosted at this
We had a lot
restaurant?
of sports celebrities. Dan Marino, Boomer Esiason.
Now, you don't have to confirm or deny, but I might have heard a few little rumors that there could have been, you know, over its life, maybe a couple mobsters that came in and had dinner here. So I know that it's a nice restaurant to entertain, we'll say.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't disclose that part because some of them are still alive.
Some of them are still alive.
No problem.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we
I don't blame you.
Any problems with any. That's
No names.
awesome. I love hearing all the sports stars that have been here and just having that piece of Las Vegas history. I love that it's iconic. I love that you have the original dome from almost 40 years ago. And I just appreciate your service. I appreciate you having us here. But you know what?
Yeah, thank you.
I think I'm getting hungry. Are you hungry?
Absolutely. Let's
I
eat.
think we should have a meal. All right, well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We
Jose.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's eat.
All right.
All right, now here's a cool story. Talk about real estate, Al Capone in southern Florida. This is a home that Al Capone used to peddle alcohol during Prohibition. Really cool story coming at you from Orlando. Let's check it out.
Jules, I'm wearing my nice clothes, my beautiful jacket. What are we doing out here?
We are sitting in Casadega, Florida, otherwise known as the psychic capital of the world. Besides being a wonderful area to connect with the other side, it's also a historic site. And there's an extra special property that I'm gonna take you to. And if you're lucky, I may even treat you to lunch at one of my favorite restaurants in all of Central Florida. Welcome to the Pines. We're in this 1926 historic home that has certain extra special attributes besides being a beautiful property. And we're fortunate enough that my buddy Teresa, who happens to have this listing, is gonna give us some more details as we go through an extra special tour of this property. Hey Teresa, good to see you.
Hey there, thank you so much for showcasing our home. This home was built in 1926, as you referenced. It's a beautiful two-story home that has beautiful original heart pine wood floors and beautiful craftsman French doors surrounding this ballroom. It's got 5,040 square feet and it's got 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's got a pool house next door that's not attached to the home because we wanted to maintain the integrity of this beautiful home.
You know, the home also has lots of upgrades to make it modern and comfortable for anybody that wants it. So as the legend goes, Al Capone may have spent time doing some of his naughty little things with bootlegging. If he had stayed in this home, then it's possible that when they went up into the attic, that there's a really cool spot where you get a good sense of what's coming and going around the property. I just think it's just cool to be up there, and you can store anything you need. It's got complete flooring, and it's actually pretty cool, as in temperate. You may not realize that because of where we are in Florida and throughout more of the northern part of the state, many, many homes actually do have proper basements. And this is completely dry and way cooler than you would imagine. Probably about 10 degrees cooler. And it would make the perfect wine cellar. So if you or someone you know would love to own a piece of history right outside of Orlando and just a few minutes from Daytona Beach, give us a call and we'd be happy to bring you to this home. Right now they're asking $665,000 for just under an acre of history.
Hey, Jules.
You found the bar I told you about.
Of course, you know, every place I go, I've got to find the bar, and this is beautiful.
So what do you think of this little hamlet of
I
Pasadena and Lake Helen?
absolutely love it. So what's great about this is you drive into the city and it's comfortable. You're serene. And I haven't been here since high school or college. I was telling someone that earlier. But everybody's so friendly and open, and then the history is just overwhelmingly amazing to me.
Isn't that cool?
It really
so
is.
speaking of history, you guys at Freedom Mortgage happen to have some of the unique products required to be able to get a loan on a historic property. Can you tell us a little bit about what our viewers need to know?
Yeah, it's not as scary as people make it out to be. The biggest obstacle, I think, is the comps, which are the comparables, which try to find a house that is the same age or designated as a historic home. It can be hard to find that around your neighborhood. So the comps, trying to find the value really is the biggest challenge. Things like insurance used to be a big deal to try to get that, but companies have come around and there's a lot of insurers that will insure more historic homes, like the beautiful home, the Pines that you were in.
And then, so when it comes to finding the loan product for a property like that, it's pretty much standard, like a traditional conventional loan is no problem.
Correct. It's really standard. So I want to encourage anybody who's watching, don't be afraid of it. You can get the loan just as you would qualify for any other traditional loan. We just have to do a few extra steps, but we know how to do that. So if you haven't seen that house, you definitely want to go visit it.
Oh, thanks so much. So if you think you might be interested in talking to Ted about getting a loan to buy the Pines, reach out to us. We're happy to help.
Please do. Thanks for having me.
All right, having fun with today's history show, but don't forget, the American Dream is a show centered around real estate and lifestyle in your own backyard. So let's go to our next local segment so you see what's happening in your city.
Hi, I'm Mike Kupenbender, accredited land consultant with TRI Outdoor Properties. Today we're in the quaint, historic gold mining town of Plymouth, California, gateway to the Shenandoah Valley, home to many award-winning wines. Today we're going to be viewing a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath French chateau estate with 10 acres of planted vineyard. Let's go take a look. Welcome to 18600 Silver Oak Lane, just outside Plymouth, California. Today we're going to view one of my favorite listings. It's a beautiful French chateau estate consisting of 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, situated on 44 acres of manicured grounds. It's solar powered for energy efficiency. We have 80 different varieties of trees, including many fruit trees, along with many olive trees where they produce their own olive oil. Today we're going to meet the owner. He's going to show us around inside, so let's take a look inside. One of my favorite things about this estate is the entertainment. It's designed to entertain large parties of people both inside and out, with 4 fireplaces, plenty of ample room outside by the wine cave. You got a beautiful view of Sacramento Valley along with the Sierra Mountains.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to Rockwall Vineyard, and the home is 3,800 square feet. It is a ICF home. The builder was Lauren Fasmer, a builder as well as an artist, and he put together an outstanding home. And the home is constructed for energy efficiency. It's about 12 to 14 inches thick on the walls, and that maintains both the heat and the cooling. One of the things that we have, and we talked about, was the wine that's grown here. And this particular Dolcetto that's made by Jeff Runquist is a big award-winning wine here in the Valley. It has 5 gold medals, a double gold, as well as several silvers. And it's just one of the varieties that we grow on the vineyard. We also, on the vineyard, have 90 olive trees, and those olives are actually harvested by Bella Grace Winery, and they actually sell the olive oil in Sutter Creek as well as at their winery, and we get about 10 gallons. That's what we like to get in a regular year, and we hand that out as gifts on a regular basis. But it makes for very good virgin olive oil, and it's from the varieties that come directly from Italy. As you can see, this is yard golf, and I have this set up as a little golf course, and we do some chipping out here. But however you want to utilize it, you eventually will take a trip into the wine cave. So follow me. This cave was designed and structured, reinforced concrete, built into the side of this small little mountain, and it's set up so we can store the wine that we drink. It's difficult to describe how chilly it is in here, but it is temperature controlled, and it's set up so that we can store both wine and olive oil in here. And occasionally my wife and I'll come and just have a seat, open up a bottle, and discuss what needs to be done today in the vineyard.
We got this amazing fire pit entertainment area out here. Tell us a little bit about Dave.
This is a place that we utilize a good deal, whether it's winter or summer. In the winter, we've got the fireplace going. These umbrellas actually maintain and hold the heat right out here. So we walk out, we have dinner out here, we also entertain, and obviously we drink wine out here. So this particular area gets a lot of utilization winter and summer.
Well, this concludes our tour. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like more information about this property or any of our other listings, please feel free to visit our website at www.trioutdoorproperties.com.
All right, more of the History Show. Now, this one's really cool. We're coming to you from Seattle, where we go to the tallest hill and show off this amazing home that was also lived in by the guy who built the tallest building. Let's go check this out in Seattle.
What an incredible setting. Now let me take you back in time.
Okay.
Imagine it's 1902 and you're throwing a party. All of your friends would come up along this street and they'd come up these marble staircases to join your party. How cool would that be?
That's amazing.
Right? Can you just picture them all with their ascots and their long
have to
coats?
use some imagination, right?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the grand entry.
Wow.
Look at this house. They have 2 living rooms. This is one of them. And if you come over, they probably invite you here because this is for family and close friends.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, the other one, if they don't know you that much yet, or they are not sure whether they want to talk to you yet, here is a place for the guest.
So the homeowner could choose whether or not to meet the person here. So if I showed up and they put me in this room, I should be a little disappointed?
Yes, yes, so be
darn
nice.
How many years did they spend rehabbing this house?
More than 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
20 years. You're not going to believe that. You know, one of the things I was reading that your client had told us is he actually told the carpenter, I don't like sagging bookshelves because you all know when you put a lot of books on a shelf, it tends to bow.
Yeah.
He told him, I want the shelves strong enough to support a man. The carpenter climbed onto the bookshelves to show him that it could bear the weight.
Yes. Do you want to try that?
All right. No, I don't want to try that.
Okay.
I'll take his word for it. surrounded by gold. Incredible. In fact, the medallions around the chandeliers were hand painted by an artist in Tennessee who specializes in Southern mansion chandelier medallions. Let's show them where the rest of the meal comes from. So this room actually used to have a hallway that connected to the kitchen. And so what the chef would do is prepare the meal by course, and then the servants would come and they would wait in this room. There's a pocket door right here. And so when they heard the bell ring, they would bring the next course out.
This is one of two master suites, but this is a huge one. It's not just huge, it's also when you live here, you have that royal family feeling, because when you stay in the bed, you can see Space Needle, and also as lady, you can check out who is coming.
That's right, that's right. The lady of the house would come to this railing right here and be able to look down onto the foyer and see who was coming into the home. You know, they'd funnel one of them off into the lower class living room or funnel them over to the higher class, but she could decide whether or not she wanted to greet them, right?
That's right. So if you are at Len, that side.
Yeah.
Janice side, this side.
Why do I keep getting downgraded? What master suite is complete without its own kitchen? W.J. Whitney, who's the gentleman that first built this home, is also the guy who built the Columbia Tower, the tallest building in the Seattle skyline.
Wow, that's amazing, huh?
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Wow. I know you would have a wall here.
She has the best view in the entire house.
I know,
That's
I know.
incredible. I'm looking at Mount Rainier, Space Needle, Seattle Center, Elliott Bay, the entire downtown skyline. I can see the Cascade Mountains. This is incredible. I would never leave.
Then you can buy this home. You can have the view forever.
All right, you take cash?
Sure.
What we're sitting on right now is an outcropping of the house. This home was built on a promontory, actually a big rock. And because of that, it was allowed to be built about 12 feet forward of the houses on either side. So those houses have great views. Our house has 210 degrees of great views that go from the Olympics through Elliott Bay, downtown, all the way over to the Cascades, and all unobstructed. It is incredible up there. What an incredible house, Janice. Thank you so much for including me and showing it to me. I think our viewers are going to love it and can't wait for people to see it firsthand.
You can schedule a private tour with me and go to seattletopproperties.com and I'll show you around.
Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time on American Dream TV, Seattle.
Hey, that's all for today's show. Even though the U.S. has one of the shortest histories, it's one of the coolest. And I hope you enjoyed today's real estate and lifestyle pieces we showed you about the history of our country. Now, don't forget also, we'd love for you to breathe oxygen into this positive message of the American Dream. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of the American Dream.
The preceding program was sponsored by Ignite Now Media with promotional consideration by its affiliated partners.